But yeah, we are going to go ahead and get into this game right away. Loading in at the moment. Here we go. Going to go ahead and get into game number 2. Going to be on GSL Metropolis. Going to be casting this Zerg versus Protoss game number 2 from the Nespa StarCraft 2 Open. I'm, of course, Sleeper Cells. Casting with me, this guy right over here to my right.
Yes, I am. Coffee break, folks, and we are really excited to be here because we've actually had some really good games already. This is only the second time second series that we've casted.
Yeah, I mean, excellent games. We saw that those really cool PvPs, really interesting PvPs there in the first series. But we do have this awesome PvZ against two fantastic players, very evenly matched here. In the first game, it was seen. We got. But yeah, no, we should probably introduce these players. We do see in the bottom of the map, we do see our orange Zerg spawning down here, going to be Bannon.
Yes, Bannon dropping 0-1 in that first game to his Protoss opponent, VaderSeven, who was just pretty much right on. I'm trying to find better words than right on, but I mean, every time that Bannon tried to establish a base, he just kind of killed it.
Bannon saying he thinks he made it worse. Not quite sure what that is,
but he was talking about he was having settings problems in the last game.
Fair enough. He does.
Just gonna go on with the game.
He does want to just go ahead and keep moving. So that's good. Like you said, good sport from him. We do see just normal standard forge fast expand action coming out of VaderSeven. So actually not gonna do that that cheeky play that we were worried he might do in the first game. He is gonna go ahead and just pretty much play fairly standard here. And back at Bannon's base, we do see a 15 pool once again coming from him. So I would not be surprised to see, and yeah, the minerals have been stored up for VaderSeven, a 17 Nexus once again.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised he's going for the 17 Nexus again. I don't know. I just find it a little bit risky to play like that, but I mean, if he feels comfortable with it, then feel free, especially since he's getting that before his opponent. Actually, there's a probe blocking the natural expansion right now, being really pesky about it, and now going back up into the base and allowing that expansion to go ahead and start. And VaderSeven just gonna drop down his forwards and play nice and standard after this.
Yeah, we did see that probe block the hatchery for a little while, but not quite going so far as to say drop a pylon, drop a couple cannons, drop a gateway. We do see a lot of players do that kind of stuff just to delay the Zerg's economy as long as possible. Some people consider it cheesy, other people just consider it standard play. I mean, you got to delay that hatchery in any way you really can. However, VaderSeven just went ahead and let that go down, popped into the main base, just making sure there wasn't some sort of weird, crazy one base strategy coming out of Bannon. Just sort of let him take that base. We do see 4 Zerglings gonna go ahead and push out, take map control. We do see the probe of VaderSeven chilling on that watchtower. Not quite sure I agree with just leaving that probe sort of in the middle of nowhere. Those Zerglings are gonna find it and take it out very, very quickly.
Yes, one thing I want to mention for this map for Zerg players, it can be a little bit difficult to take a fast third. The reason for that is down in these expansions, you actually have rocks that block you from getting to your third, and so you have to kind of go a long way around to be able to take that, and actually it looks like Bannon's going to be doing that, and it can be a little bit difficult to defend it at first. The really important thing, I feel, to be able to defend that base, get a third queen just to make some creep, and that way you can get your creep kind of spread up and around and down into that third base, which makes it a lot easier to defend, get the roaches there faster, get the Zerglings there faster, if there is some sort of timing push coming for you.
Yeah, we will probably see those roaches once again going up to those quick 3 bases, like you said. A little bit surprised not to see him pull out a little bit of his Muta play. We did see in the seeding rounds he had excellent Mutalist control, taking down Tempt, I believe, really easily, just basically just controlling his opponent, controlling his expansion timings, and just eventually able to overrun him. He had excellent Muta control. A little bit surprised to see that, but not too terrible. We do see just normal cybernetic score action coming out of VaderSeven this game. Considering GSL Metropolis, not nearly as short of a rush distance. It'd be a little bit of time before those Zealots could get to the third base.
Yes, it would. I want to point out the fact that VaderSeven already going for that +1 ground weapons. That's not super indicative of anything, but it does show that he might be thinking of doing a timing push. And I'm always a big fan, personally, of PvZ at 2 base timing pushes, and we're actually seeing that Twilight Council being dropped now. Might be going for a quick blink, so I would not be surprised at all to see some sort of maybe 9-minute 6 or 7 gate timing push coming out of VaderSeven, try to delay that economy once again and do a little bit of damage to his opponent in Bannon.
Yeah, I mean, with only 2 gases, Blink Stalker's definitely more than likely going to be what's coming out of VaderSeven. I would be really surprised to see something like Charged Light Archon. Not exactly the most standard play in Protoss versus Zerg. But But yeah, we will see that Twilight Council finishing up. Gonna go ahead and see what he decides to go for from here. Gonna go ahead and hover over that Twilight Council. A couple additional gateways going down. We will, in fact, see Blink, so it probably will be a large two-base, heavy gateway Blink timing push coming out of VaderSeven. Really good idea of timings from him. He's been trying desperately to sort of throw Bannon off kilter. However, I feel like Bannon is going to be a little bit more prepared for this particular style of play, considering this is something you do see in ladder quite a bit.
Yes, it's something you do see in ladder quite a bit, but the reason for that is because it works. Yeah. I mean, quite simply, and the great thing about this is, if Bannon is indeed going for that quick 11 or 12 minute roach max, this is going to hit kind of right before all those roaches really start hitting the field.
Yeah, we do, in fact, see 8 gates finishing up here, so we will be an 8-gate timing push. Warp gate almost finished. No proxy pylons on the field, though, quite yet. So he won't have any sort of really fast warp-in ability, but he will go ahead and poke out with his original 2 stalkers. He's going to go ahead and take the field. Not sure if Bannon is privy to this quite yet. I'm going to go ahead and check his vision. He does, in fact, see that there is 1 gateway on the way with this Overlord, but not quite able to poke in too terribly far. So VaderSeven able to hide these gateways fairly well. Warp gate has, in fact, finished. And here comes this huge aggression. Bannon gonna go ahead and miss the army as well. Gonna go ahead and poke down here into the 3rd base. See that there's not a 3rd base here. And he is going to be a little bit surprised when this huge force of Blink Stalkers takes out this Zergling at the watchtower, so he is now aware. We see some Zerglings gonna go ahead and poke out. Gonna go ahead and take out this proxy pylon here. But no, a few units are gonna warp in and gonna deny these lings. But he might get the probe here. He does get the probe. That is going to delay this push significantly, as VaderSeven is going to be forced to pull another probe to start laying additional pylons. Not quite sure why he's sort of laying down a trail of pylons as he goes. This is a timing push for a reason. He really does need to push in fairly shortly here. I mean, he may be waiting for, I believe that is +2 weapons to finish up, but he definitely does need to push it fairly shortly. He is starting to bank up a decent amount of money as well.
Yeah, gosh, I just felt like he had such a great window of opportunity there. I was keeping an eye on that units tab, and when he was taking out those Zerglings, there were 16 Zerglings on the field and 2 roaches. And now Bannon is just getting a chance to go ahead and make lots and lots of roaches for defense. And I mean, don't get me wrong, a bunch of Blink Stalkers versus roaches, I'll take that engagement any day, especially with a few sentries mixed in. I actually don't have any sentries in this army, but he kind of missed a great little timing window where he could have done a lot more damage. And now Bannon has quite a bit of defense up, and you can see VaderSeven having to kind of fall back, find a better engagement angle where before he could have just kind of hit wherever he wanted to and manhandled his opponent.
Well, I mean, at this point, VaderSeven almost all in at this point. I mean, he's poking forward with his entire army. Roaches are going to engage these Stalkers. Not the best angle for the Roaches. They're going to be forced to fall back here. Something I would have loved to see from Bannon would have been some static defense. He knew this was coming. He saw these. He had plenty of time to drop that down. We do see some Zerglings go and poke in here and doing absolutely no damage. An aggressive Blink, and go ahead and take out a couple additional things. Ooh, we did see some Zealots down in the 3rd as well. Took out a handful of drones. We do see in the Harvester's kill tab just 2 been down. We do see the Roach is going to go ahead and engage all these Blink Stalkers. Decent Blink Micro, not the best actually. Blink back groups of Stalkers as opposed to 2 entire Stalkers. A couple of Roaches coming in from the sides as well. So many Stalkers falling into the orange, into the yellow, into the red. There's the aggressive Blink forward, though reinforcements are engaging these Stalkers on the high ground. So many units being pulled off the line. Drones wouldn't be surprised to see those very shortly. Here they come off the line. So many units have gone down, but additional reinforcements coming in from the top for VaderSeven, taking out a huge supply lead. 91 supply to 58. Bannon getting overrun here and forced to GG out of this game.